Welcome to English Vibe.
Okay, so you want to really level up your American English pronunciation.
Quickly.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Nobody has time for like tons and tons of lessons, right?
Right.
You want to like jump in and get going.
Exactly.
That's what this deep dive is all about.
Yeah.
I think you'll find the sources that you sent are really fascinating, and they give us a lot to talk about today.
Absolutely.
So the first thing that really jumped out at me was this idea of like mimicking. Like how important is that really?
It's fundamental. I mean, that's how we all learn to speak in the first place, right?
Right.
We hear the sounds around us and we try to reproduce them.
Yeah.
It's just that as adults,
Yeah.
we kind of forget that we
Right.
think we need to learn all these rules and study things in a very kind of academic way.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's really just about getting back to basics
Yeah.
and training your mouth to make these new sounds, to make these new shapes, and
Yeah.
your ear to actually hear the nuances of the accent.
So it's like muscle memory almost.
It's exactly. It's like learning a new sport or a musical instrument. You
Yeah.
have to train your muscles to do things they're not used to doing.
And the more you do it,
Yeah.
the more natural it becomes.
Precisely.
And, this whole mimicking thing I keep thinking about,
Yeah.
like when I was, I don't know, younger and I first started watching like British television,
Right.
I thought I could just pick up the accent just by listening to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd walk around talking and people would just look at me like I was crazy.
You and me both.
So it clearly takes a bit more than just passive listening.
Absolutely.
There's this
There's this technique.
technique.
Yeah, one of the sources actually talks about it called shadowing.
Right.
And it's basically you listen to a short segment.
Yeah.
It could be anything from a movie, a news clip, whatever.
Okay.
And you immediately repeat it.
Okay.
And you try to match not just the words,
Right.
but the intonation, the rhythm,
Yeah.
the pronunciation, everything.
And that really forces you to pay attention
Exactly.
to all the nuances.
Yeah, it's active listening rather
Mhm.
than just passive listening.
So it's like you're really getting in there. And,
Yeah, you're getting your hands dirty with the sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what leads to real improvement.
Right.
Now, speaking of listening to things,
Yes.
you sent over some really interesting movie recommendations,
Absolutely.
which I thought was a really cool approach.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who doesn't love watching movies?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can learn so much about
Yeah.
pronunciation, intonation,
Culture, even.
culture, absolutely.
Yeah.
And different films can be good for different purposes.
Okay, so give me an example.
So, for example, one of the sources mentioned Forrest Gump,
Ah, classic.
right?
Yeah.
And that's often cited as a great tool for understanding regional accents in American English.
Right, because he goes all over the place.
Exactly. He travels throughout the film and he encounters people from different parts of the country.
And he got to pick it up.
And yeah,
A little bit of everything.
exactly. Yeah, it's a great way to attune your ear
Yeah.
to the different ways that Americans speak.
And I also imagine that the slow, deliberate way that Tom Hanks talks in that movie
Oh, that's a good point.
would make it easier for somebody to follow along and really like pick up on the sound.
Absolutely.
Were there any other films that kind of stood out to you as you were going through all this?
Yeah, well, I thought The Social Network was a really interesting suggestion
Okay.
because it's so dialogue heavy
Right.
and it's very fast paced.
Right. Very modern.
Yeah, you get a good feel for the rhythm and the intonation
Yeah.
of modern American English.
Yeah, especially in like a business context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're,
Yeah.
aiming for that kind of
Right.
very clear, very articulate American accent,
Yeah.
that's a good one to watch.
It's like you're learning by osmosis
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
you're like enjoying this,
Yeah, you're immersed in the story.
right, this drama.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're watching these movies. We're getting exposed to the sounds.
Yeah.
But don't we need to like understand
We do.
the nuts and bolts,
We do.
the building blocks of the sounds themselves?
Yeah, we need to get a little bit technical
Okay.
for a moment.
All right, so let's get technical.
Yeah, so one of the sources really delves into phonetics,
Right.
which is basically the study of speech sounds.
Okay.
And in particular, it talks about the vowel and consonant sounds
Okay.
that are unique to American English.
Okay.
So if you can master these sounds,
Yeah.
you're well on your way
It's unlocking that
to unlocking that authentic
perfect American accent.
American accent.
All right, so give me an example of one of those sounds that might trip up
Sure.
somebody who's new to American English.
So one that comes up a lot is the R sound.
Okay.
And it's much more pronounced in American English than in many other languages.
Okay.
So, for example, if you say the word car, pay attention to what your tongue is doing.
Ah.
It kind of curls back a little
Yeah.
bit, and you feel the sound resonating in the back of your mouth.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That's the American R.
Yeah, it's subtle,
It is subtle,
but it makes a big difference.
but it makes a huge difference to
Yeah.
how you sound.
Okay, what about vowels?
Oh, the vowels are tricky.
Yeah.
One that often comes up is the AE sound,
Okay.
as in cat. Cat. Yeah, so many languages don't have this exact vowel sound.
Right.
And it's a bit more open and relaxed than the A sound, like cat.
Cat.
I think I need to work on that one.
It takes practice.
Yeah.
But once you get it,
Yeah.
it'll make a big difference.
Okay, so we've covered mimicking,
Yes.
we've covered movies, we've covered phonetics.
Yeah.
What other, like, gems did these sources have for us?
Well, one thing that came up again and again was the idea of listening to news broadcasts.
Interesting.
Yeah, because news anchors
Are trained to speak in a very clear, neutral American accent.
so like having a free pronunciation coach
Exactly.
right there on your TV.
Right here in your living room.
Are there any particular news channels that were highlighted?
Yeah, a couple that came up were CNN and NPR.
Okay.
And they're known for their standard American English pronunciation.
Right.
And their very articulate delivery.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
That like news anchors are really good to listen to
They are.
for that kind of thing.
They are, because they're trained to be understood
Right.
by a very wide audience.
And they have to speak clearly and slowly
Exactly.
and enunciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they're a great model.
Okay, and how much were they recommending that people listen every day?
Well, one of the sources suggested even just 30 minutes a day
Okay, that's doable.
could make a big difference over time.
That's not a huge commitment
No.
for potentially big rewards.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm thinking, though, is that like just passively listening
Right.
to CNN for 30 minutes,
You got to do more than that.
it's probably not going to cut it, right?
Yeah, you got to get in there.
We need to actively practice.
Absolutely.
Right.
The sources really stressed that consistent active practice is key.
So not just listening,
No.
but like doing things.
Yeah, engage.
Engage.
Don't just sit there and let the sounds wash over.
Yeah.
You do something with them.
So like what can people do?
Well, we talked about shadowing earlier.
Right.
That's a great technique.
Okay.
Another thing you can do is record yourself speaking.
That's always a little scary.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's so helpful because you can actually hear yourself
Can compare.
and compare it to the original.
Right, right.
And you'll start to pick up on the subtle differences.
Right, and the areas where you might need a
Exactly.
little more work.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got mimicry,
Yes.
movies,
Uh-huh.
phonetics,
Yes.
news, active practice.
It's a pretty comprehensive toolkit.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
It is.
I feel like I'm ready to go out and like conquer the American English language.
Well, I hope so.
But you know, before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I think it's important to just remind everybody that
Yes.
you know, this is a journey.
It is.
It's not a race.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Don't get discouraged
Exactly.
if you don't sound like
Like a Hollywood actor.
a Hollywood actor by next week.
Right.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Enjoy the process
Enjoy it.
and celebrate the small victories
Absolutely.
along the way.
Yes.
So now that you have all these amazing tools,
Yes.
what are you going to focus on first?
That's the question.
What's going to be your starting point?
Yeah.
Is it going to be that tricky R sound?
Maybe.
Or maybe you're going to go out and find a new favorite American movie
That's a good idea.
to practice with.
I like that.
The journey to mastering.
Yeah.
American English pronunciation
Awaits.
awaits.
Go forth and conquer.
Go forth and conquer. Okay, are you ready to like totally transform your accent using nothing but awesome TV shows?
I am so ready.
Because today we are diving deep into the world of general American accents.
The kind you hear on like the news or in so many movies.
Right, and we've got a bunch of shows lined up that are going to help you, whether you want to, you know, be clearer at work.
Or just sound more natural when you're chatting with friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to break it down into 3 categories.
Shows for clear and neutral accents.
Shows for sounding professional.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a big presentation coming up.
And shows for just like mastering everyday American slang.
And then we'll wrap up with some like pro tips on how to actually use these shows to like seriously improve your accent.
Because you don't want to just passively watch.
Right, exactly. You got to be active about it.
Yeah.
So are you ready to dive in?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about shows that are famous for like their crystal clear pronunciation.
And that neutral American accent, you know, the one that doesn't really scream any particular region.
Right, like you could be from anywhere.
Exactly.
And I have to start with Friends, right? It's like a classic.
I mean, come on, who hasn't seen at least one episode of Friends?
I know, and the dialogue is so clear, plus you get all those everyday idioms that Americans use all the time.
It's perfect if you want to sound natural and relatable, like you've been hanging out with Americans forever.
Totally. And you'll notice how they use contractions like gonna and wanna supernaturally.
Which can be tricky for non-native speakers.
For sure. So pay attention to how they pronounce those and try repeating them along with the show.
It's like a mini pronunciation workout.
I love it. Okay, so moving on to another show that's super relatable, and that's The Office.
The U.S. version, of course.
Of course. The humor can be a bit over the top sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But the pronunciation is spot on, especially if you're aiming for a professional setting.
Right, because even though they're goofing off all the time, they do work in an office.
True, but I would say the language in The Office is still pretty informal.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of slang and office jokes.
So if you need something more formal, like if you work in diplomacy or something.
Madam Secretary.
Exactly, Madam Secretary would be a much better choice for that kind of professional context.
Okay, good to know. Now, for those who are all about keeping things current.
Like up with the latest slang and trends.
You've got shows like How I Met Your Mother and Modern Family.
Those are packed with everyday conversations and clear speech.
And I think Modern Family is particularly interesting because of the diverse cast.
You're right, you get to hear subtle variations within that general American accent.
Like slight differences in pronunciation based on their background.
Exactly. And you know how Americans sometimes pronounce the T sound as a D in the middle of words?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I never noticed that.
You'll hear it a lot in Modern Family, so listen closely to words like those and try to imitate the way they say them.
That's a cool little trick.
Oh.
Okay, so rounding out this category, we have Parks and Recreation.
Which I love because it gives you a taste of both worlds.
Yeah, it's got that mix of professional and casual dialogue.
So you'll hear characters going from town hall meetings to hanging out at the bar, all with that clear American pronunciation.
Which is great for seeing how the same accent can be adapted for different situations.
Exactly. Pay attention to how they adjust their tone and formality depending on the context.
Like accent chameleon skill.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered shows for everyday speech now. Let's shift gears and look at some shows that'll help you sound super polished in professional settings.
Think boardrooms presentations, where you really need to impress with your language skills.
And I think Suits has to be on this list.
Oh, absolutely. Those characters are sharp.
So sharp. It might be a bit heavy on the legal jargon at first.
But the pronunciation is impeccable.
Yeah, and the way they structure their sentences, it's like a masterclass in persuasive speaking.
It is, but keep in mind, it's very stylized.
Right, it's not how people actually talk in everyday life.
So if you want something that's a bit more realistic for professional settings,
but still super articulate.
I'd recommend The West Wing.
The West Wing, yes.
Yeah.
Such a classic, and the dialogue is so smart.
It really makes you want to brush up on your vocabulary.
It does. Now, for those who are fascinated by journalism and the whole world of news,
where you have to be quick and clear.
The newsroom is amazing.
It's like a whirlwind of information, but the language is top-notch.
Even though it's super intense.
I mean, they talk fast.
They do.
Yeah.
But that's actually great for improving your listening comprehension.
It forces you to keep up and really tune into those subtle nuances of American English.
Totally. Now, for a show that's all about politics, power dynamics, and how language is used to influence.
House of Cards.
Yes, House of Cards is so good. The dialogue is full of formal speech patterns.
And you can really see how they use their words carefully to get what they want.
It's a bit dark, though.
It is, but it's also fascinating to see how tone, emphasis, and even just the words they choose can convey so much power.
It's like a crash course in the psychology of communication.
Exactly.
Okay, and for a show that's a bit more vintage, but still incredibly relevant when it comes to business communication.
We have to mention Mad Men.
Mad Men takes us back to the 1960s.
Where the art of conversation was still very much alive.
And the way they speak is so deliberate and elegant.
The slower pace of the show also gives you more time to really focus on the pronunciation and intonation.
Which is great for learners.
It's like a masterclass in that classic American accent.
Okay, so we've covered clear pronunciation and professional speech. Now let's get into the fun stuff.
Everyday American slang and those casual conversations that make you sound like a local.
And for that, I'm so curious about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is hilarious.
It is, and I've heard the slang is amazing.
It is. You'll hear phrases like noise, which is like a really exaggerated way of saying nice.
Noise. I like that.
And toiten-ups, which means cool or awesome.
Toiten-ups. Okay, I'm going to try to use that.
And bing pot, which is like when you win something or achieve something. And
Bing Pod. It's like a fun way to learn how Americans use humor and slang in everyday conversations.
exactly, it gives you that insider feel.
And New Girl is another one that's packed with informal conversations and slang.
Especially the kind that's popular with younger generations.
So if you want to sound current, New Girl's a good choice.
But while Friends is iconic, I think the language is a bit dated now.
You're right.
So a show like The Good Place might be more relevant for modern learners.
Yeah, The Good Place is definitely more current, and it's got that same kind of witty banter that Friends has.
But with a more modern twist.
And then there's The Big Bang Theory, which has this really interesting mix of casual and technical language.
Yeah, it's great for people who are into science and tech because you'll hear a lot of jargon from those fields.
But it's also just a funny show in general.
And it shows how technical jargon can sometimes make its way into everyday speech.
Which is a reminder that language is always evolving.
It's a living thing.
It is. Okay, now for a show that will truly test your listening skills and maybe make your head spin a little.
We have to talk about Gilmore Girls.
Oh my gosh, the dialogue in that show is so fast.
It's like a speed-talking marathon.
But it's so witty and full of pop culture references.
It's like a workout for your brain.
If you can shadow Gilmore Girls, you can shadow anything.
Seriously, it's like the ultimate challenge.
I remember trying to shadow Gilmore Girls when I was first learning English.
How did it go?
It was tough. It was like my tongue was trying to keep up with a race car.
But I bet it really helped you with your speed and clarity.
It did. It forced me to really focus and pay attention to the sounds.
And last but not least, we have Stranger Things.
Which has a really cool mix of casual and formal language.
Plus, it's got that nostalgic 80s vibe that everyone loves.
And it appeals to a wide range of viewers.
So there's something for everyone.
Stranger Things is also interesting because it blends different genres.
Yeah, it's got sci-fi horror comedy.
So the language reflects that. You hear everything from 80s slang to more contemporary phrases. Okay, so we've covered a ton of shows, but how do we actually use them to improve our accents?
Because watching is only half the battle.
Right, you have to be active about it. And one of the most effective techniques is called shadowing.
It's like karaoke for your accent.
I love that description.
You basically pause the show after each line and try to repeat it exactly how the actor said it.
Matching the intonation, the rhythm, even the emotion.
It's like you're becoming the actor.
And don't be afraid to start with shows that have a slower pace.
Like Mad Men, for example.
And then gradually challenge yourself with faster-paced shows as you get better.
Like maybe work your way up to Gilmore Girls.
Exactly. And another pro tip, use subtitles.
Especially when you're starting out.
Yeah, start with them on to make sure you're understanding everything, and then turn them off to really focus on the sounds.
It's like a training wheels approach.
And while you're watching, pay attention to how they pronounce common words and phrases.
You might be surprised by the subtle differences in intonation and stress.
It's all about those little details.
They make a big difference.
They do. And here's another tip. Record yourself speaking lines from the show.
And then compare it to the original.
It's like getting instant feedback on your progress.
And it can be really eye-opening.
You might hear things you didn't even realize you were doing.
Like maybe you're putting the stress on the wrong syllable or something.
And speaking details, pay attention to the actor's mouth movements.
Especially their lips and tongue.
You can actually learn a lot about pronunciation just by observing how they form sounds.
It's like visual learning in action.
Yeah, and it helps you understand the mechanics of producing different sounds.
Which is super important for mastering an accent.
And the biggest thing of all, the key to success.
Consistency.
Consistency. Try to watch at least one episode a day and practice speaking out loud as much as you can.
The more you immerse yourself in the language, the more natural it will become.
It's like anything else. The more you practice, the better you get.
Imagine yourself confidently navigating real-world conversations, your pronunciation clear and natural, all thanks to those hours spent enjoying these amazing shows.
That's the dream, right?
It is. And remember, the most important thing is to have fun with it.
Yes, choose shows that you genuinely enjoy.
Let the learning happen organically as you immerse yourself in the world of American television.
Because if you're not having fun, you're not going to stick with it.
And if you find yourself struggling with a particular sound or phrase, don't be afraid to rewind and practice it until you get it right.
It's like your own personal pronunciation boot camp.
Exactly.
So there you have it, a deep dive into TV shows that can help you master that general American accent.
Pick a show, put on those subtitles, and get ready to have fun while you learn.
And let us know in the comments which shows you're going to try out.
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep practicing and happy watching.
Bye!
Bye!